So, welcome. We are here today with LaVaughn and Chuck. I'm thrilled to have you here. Thank you very much for participating in this series. Let me start by asking, how long have you been attending Christ Church?
Since, well, the first time we came here was October 2021.
Okay.
That was during the time where services were often outside in the churchyard.
Yeah.
And that particular Sunday was the blessing of the animal service.
Oh.
So we came for that.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
But we had been visiting, I guess, the churchyard itself prior to that. So we had some inkling of this. But it wasn't our very first time on the property. It's just that it was probably the first time we had come to a service.
How did you find it?
Well, we were looking for a place to retire to,
Okay.
and we were originally from Chicago,
Yeah, okay.
lived in St. Louis, lived in D.C., and the last place was Silver Spring, Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
But on a small pension and Social Security, we saw that we couldn't buy, the minimum, they're $500,000 houses.
Mm-hmm.
And then seeing all of the interesting things that were going on here in Dover,
Mm-hmm.
first state, first weekend, those
Mhm.
kinds of things. And I think our first visit was on a Labor Day.
Mm-hmm.
In 2018.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And we stayed in a B&B on State Street,
Mm-hmm.
and just had a great time.
Good.
And the only negative, we discovered that living in the DC area, we didn't have a car.
Mm-hmm.
So we were using public transportation. The metro was there, buses ran very regularly, and we saw that, they have buses here, run about once an hour, but we didn't realize on Labor Day they don't run. So we did a lot of walking around.
Yes.
And that was great, because
Mhm.
on foot you can really,
Mhm.
this is nice.
Dover is a lovely city to go
Yeah.
walking around.
Yeah.
And I think that during one of those excursions, walking around, we found this
Found the church? Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. What kept you coming back?
Oh, we're history nerds.
Okay.
Or I call us history nerds.
Okay.
I was a volunteer with the Park Service
Mm-hmm.
at the White House Visitor Center. History is a favorite of mine, and LaVaugh's also.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
So that's what kind of maybe kept us together.
That's possible. But the congregation itself, I mean, I think what happened was when we first came here and we were sitting in the churchyard, one of the first people we met while we were sitting there was Martha Weiss.
Oh.
So,
And she was very welcoming.
yes, and
yeah.
because this is an Episcopal church, she of course invited us to coffee hour that
Mhm.
day, which is what we did, and found other people within this congregation to be open and warm
Mm-hmm.
and welcoming.
Yes.
So that's what got us to come for other services. And then I guess we also went to the newcomer event
Mhm.
in January of 2022, where by that time we had been coming here for a while
Mhm.
and just realized that this is definitely a place that we can really call home once we were here this way. So,
Wonderful.
yeah.
What things have you gotten involved in? What ministries or things within the church have you guys gotten involved in?
Well, we are on the History and Research Committee
Okay.
here, so we're interested
That
in
seems fitting.
which makes sense, given our penchant for histories
Mhm.
and understanding the history of this congregation in particular, and the folks in our churchyard.
Mhm.
Okay, and we also are part of we're not officially on the cemetery committee, but we do help out with the cleaning
Wonderful.
of markers. So there's that. And then for me, I recently became one of the group of readers.
Okay.
So I've been reading at the 10 o'clock service
Uh-huh.
and the healing service on Wednesdays. I've done a couple of those, and I think I have an 8 o'clock service to do at some point very
Mhm.
soon. So
I might know the answer to this question, but what is the ministry that you have enjoyed the most, or that you love the most that you've participated here?
beyond the ones that we were talking about?
No, that list.
Oh, yeah, history committee.
That's why I
'cause we've
said,
been
I think I know
looking
the
at
answer to that question.
Looking at the photographs
Yeah.
from the
Mhm.
1900s
Mm-hmm,
and just seeing how this building evolved
mm-hmm,
and some of the things that pastors in and out had said about the church in the 1830s and 50s and things like that. So it's very interesting.
And we also are scanning documents from those various periods, so helping to make them findable
mm-hmm.
and accessible on the internet.
Wonderful.
Or eventually. And then we also, at least from my perspective, the fact that our services are now online, we
Mhm.
like the aspect of that because that means that our church is even more a part of what people might find attractive out there in the wider
Mhm.
world,
Mm-hmm.
beyond these walls and beyond this city even.
That's wonderful. That's a very interesting point. I have reflected a lot on, the length of time this congregation has been here,
Yeah.
making an
Mhm.
impact in this community. And that is something I sit and I think about on Sunday mornings.
Mhm.
It's been more than 300 years that people have been sitting in these pews,
Yeah.
and that people have been outside of these four walls doing ministry in the community of
Mhm.
Dover. And that's just, it's amazing and also, overwhelming to
It's-
think about and to be part of continuing that.
Yes.
Not just recording the history, but as you've just mentioned, keeping it going forward.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a sobering thought.
It is, but also an amazingly wonderful one.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
So when you think about your interactions with Christ Church and the community here, I know you haven't been here super long, but has there been a time that you have seen the community really come together to support someone or to support yourselves in a time of need or something like that?
Well, yes, not so much us, I don't think,
Mhm.
but in terms of just being here and seeing people interact with each other, especially when people are undergoing some type of crisis, or undergoing some issue that requires acknowledgement via prayer and just acknowledgement in general. I mean, that we see on a continuing basis. So, which of course is one of the things that, at least in my mind, is reason enough to continue to be part of that. So I guess we haven't been here long enough for ourselves to have had that kind of need, but we have definitely seen that need addressed by others within this congregation.
Wonderful. And also, as you think about your interaction with this church and the things you see going on around you, how does that shape or impact the way you think about your giving to the church through your time, your talent? How does it impact your interaction with the church and how you support the church?
Well, we try monetarily and wish we could always give more, but with working with the history committee, cleaning the markers, we're talking, now that we're pretty well organized at home, I'm a Christmas ornament freak, and I have found many that I could bring in for the Holly Fair and
Wonderful.
things like that.
So I guess we're just beginning to understand more of what we might be able to contribute. Just the very fact that we come on a regular basis and understand and or see the needs that are here, that in and of itself influences just at least discussion as to what more we might do. One thing we are doing is at the Lichgate, we've taken that over as a project no one asked us to, but we decided that it needed to have more going on with it in terms of hosta being planted around it. So if you've noticed any hosta there,
So
That's-
we've started
we
on
do that.
each side, and I'm hoping over the next couple of years, we'll hopefully make it to get it all the way across.
I'm gonna have to
With
walk over
Hosta.
there and check that out. I
Yeah,
have not seen
some of them
that.
are little guys, 'cause
Yeah.
I thought, oh, Home Depot has Hosta on sale, 10 for
Mhm.
$10.
Oh,
Well, when I got them,
mm,
I can see why, little guys, but eventually, you know, they're
they
gonna,
will grow.
with fertilizer and grow, and then
Oh,
we'll
that's
keep working our
wonderful.
way out. Yeah.
That's fantastic. I'm gonna have to walk over there and take a look at that. I'm sure, just in a short amount of time, because hostas grow quickly.
Yes.
That is gonna be beautiful.
Yeah, 'cause I was surprised, I thought a couple of them, because of the heat,
Yes.
didn't make it. But then all of a sudden, there they are, poking their little heads up.
That's
In a
wonderful.
sense, in a sense, that's become, I suppose, an extension of our own yard.
Yeah.
Because we, that and even down to the fact that there's a fair amount of weeding that has to happen over there
Mhm.
too, which we're a little behind on today, but the point is, that's part and parcel of what
That's
this is about.
absolutely supporting the community here. Yes. That's wonderful.
And well, people come through that gate, cars stop there to let people
Mhm.
off. I mean, if it might, it serves as a first impression in a
Mhm.
lot of senses, so why not have something more going on that
Mhm.
people can see and interact with immediately? So
Mhm.
that was our thought.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Making your own, putting your own touch on the community that is here, and helping to beautify it in all senses of that world.
Yes. And the other thing we do along that line, especially when I'm through here, there's, well, people, a lot of the public comes through here.
Mhm.
They're not necessarily as cleanly as one might expect. So they leave things. I mean, so I have a plastic bag in my hand, and usually within this churchyard or outside the gate,
Mhm.
just picking up trash.
Yes.
Because I mean, just because it needs to be done for one
Mhm.
thing, and
Mhm.
I would do that in our own neighborhood, but
Right.
because I consider this part of our neighborhood too,
Mhm.
all the more reason to be doing that. So.
Wonderful. Well, with these videos that we've been doing, they have been a wonderful way to lift up the ministries and the commitment that people have to this congregation. I also have viewed it very much as a way to say thank you. Say thank you for the contributions that you have made, the time and talent that you have given to this congregation, and for being a part of it. And that's wonderful, and thank you for participating in the video.
Oh, you're
Well,
welcome.
you're very welcome.